Today's horoscope from Astrocademy, Pisces September 20th, 2022. You're sensitive to the emotional atmosphere around you today. You tend to avoid the spotlight just for now, allowing you to center yourself and connect with your inner world. Tomorrow, the moon will enter your sign, and you'll crave more interaction. Today is more about healing and processing. Still, you tend to focus on those things that motivate and energize you today. It's a time for letting go of overthinking and replacing it with activity as Mars and Chiron connect. Taking action on a problem can be very healing now. You might see the connection between physical healing and inner, emotional healing. There can be breakthroughs. What at first seems a problem can turn right around in your favor. While you certainly know how to assert yourself when you put your mind to it, sometimes you can also scuttle sideways to get what you want like a crab. Today and tomorrow's energy, though, could bring great power to your communications, though. As the mighty sun sizzles through your solar third house of the mind and ideas, he will dance with a dazzling flare with powerhouse Pluto across the sky from you in your solar seventh house of partnerships. Today is the day to pitch someone or ask for a promise in your personal or romantic life. They will easily bow to you. What inner monologues do you need to let go of to have a more productive workday? How you speak to yourself is crucial as it can affect the flow of your work or your paraprofessional relationships. Now that the last quarter moon in Gemini is here, you should strongly consider adjusting your attitude. Since Mars in Gemini also sextiles Chiron retrograde in Aries, this may refer to letting go of any stressors or insecurities surrounding your career path. Think highly of what you have accomplished and created instead of beating yourself up. The dwarf planet Ceres and Chiron will remain at a friendly aspect over the weekend and away from the noise of the working week. This is a chance to get a read on what is a coming together of your needs and priorities and of what you are fighting for on the income and career fronts. The moon's return to your income sector early next week will give you a better read on this. The aspect of the day gives you the confidence you need to get things done, but you may also feel a little insecure when it comes to your close relationships. Don't feel as though you need to have all the right answers. That's a classic worry brought on by this transit. Focus instead on what you are feeling, and don't worry about finding the right words. Make sure that you are getting the exercise you need, or the feeling of frustration will only increase. Aerobic exercise will oxygenate your blood and lift your spirits. Today the vibrations will be speaking more about reflection and waiting rather than taking action and concluding your projects. However, if you are patient and furnish the necessary effort, you will be better able to avoid obstacles in your emotional life. The situation is far from ideal and the routine in your sentimental life could be heavy for you. Fortunately, this slow period is going to end soon, and after it has finished you should have confidence in yourself again. The moon's return to Cancer each month is always a valuable chance to check in, both with your own inner voice and the ever-changing cosmic conditions. There has been a lot of the latter over recent weeks, and there is even more to come, making this a valuable chance to become more centered in your own truth. Meanwhile, whether it is the sun's last weekend in your communication sector or Mercury's last in your home and family sector, there is a lot of focus on communication today. At the same time that the sun is spending his last weekend in your communication sector, he is also just 24 hours away from a friendly aspect to Pluto, in retrograde motion in your relationship sector. While not exact yet, this is already helping to channel the sun's support into giving your relationships, the past and unsaid words, a voice. Our eyes in the sky. The moon went void of course in Gemini yesterday, but it enters Cancer early this morning, and you're probably ready to tackle your goals. And there is a lot you can do to solidify your plans. The sun in detail-oriented Virgo means you have a ton of determination to keep moving despite any outside interference. All else will begin to make more sense once you let the earthy energy drive you toward commitment. Try not to hold yourself back today, even if there are pangs of guilt tapping at your aura. The overall feeling makes you aware of the collective struggle, and you might be all up in your feels for the world right now. Remember that the work you are here to do is enough and why you're being given this chance right now. The message of today's link between Mercury and Jupiter is to be patient with yourself and others. Remember that life is a marathon, not a sprint. Write that down and look at it when things get confusing or you begin to doubt yourself. Those who put in the time and long hours will be rewarded down the road. This is the time to take a chance on yourself and trust your instincts. After midnight, the moon enters Cancer and ends its void of course, which began yesterday afternoon. Over the next 2 days, expect emotions to fluctuate in line with the lunar tides. Under the Cancer moon, we seek somatic methods for self-soothing. What rituals do you engage with when you feel out of sorts? Who do you turn to when in a crisis? Do you have a literal security blanket? Commit to being present with your emotions and delineating what practices help you to feel safe and secure. Mid-afternoon, retrograde Mercury in Libra opposes Jupiter in Aries, its second of 3 passes. The first opposition occurred on September 2nd. Think back to this day to make personal connections. This idealistic influence causes us to lose sight of important details as we get caught up in the excitement of a big-picture plan. With Mercury in retrograde motion, we are especially liable to overextending ourselves, signing hurried contracts, or setting up travel plans or classes with little to no consideration of the long-term repercussions. Hasty choices can be regretted later, although if we have delayed an election and it is still on our minds mid-month, it's a good sign that at least our interest is legitimate and not a passing fad. Use today to review the fine print. Ask those who have gone through similar experiences for advice. It can't hurt to get more information before taking a plunge. Mercury direct and Jupiter will make their final opposition on October 12th, completing this narrative arc.